You know, before I started this, Dr. Phil, 17 years ago, we're in our 17th season, if you can believe that. My real job before I did this was I had a company called CSI before the CSI TV show, Courtroom Sciences. And it was a trial science company. It was the trial science company, actually. And so I lived in trial, and we helped people tell the truth effectively. And we selected juries, and we helped with trial strategy. And we really analyzed how jurors come to the conclusions they come to, what they pay attention to, what they look at, and what they don't. And you know, the jury has the right to assign whatever weight they want to all the evidence they have. You know, they're talking about demeanor evidence. They have the right to assign whatever weight they want to how he behaves. They have the right to assign however much weight they want to expert evidence. They can completely discount it if they want. The judge will say, you hear this evidence, you can reject it, embrace it, because a lot of jurors will say, you know, both sides hire experts. They're both going to say what they want them to say. I don't even listen to that. So they look at it. And, you know, there are just things that Janie, who I think is very sincere, doesn't have answers for, right? Like, how do you explain him telling Amber Fry, I'm going to have my first Christmas without my wife 2 weeks before she's dead? Well, I don't have an answer for that one. And when Amber asked him on the recorded conversation, he says, well, there's different kinds of loss. But, you know, there's just some stuff that's just so hard to get around. And he's fishing in the bay where the body's found with a new boat. And it is possible, they did say he'd been fishing there, maybe somebody dumped the bodies there. I mean, you don't know, but my experience has been that juries tend to get it right. I think the O.J. Simpson jury got it right based on what information they were given. They didn't know everything we knew. They had a narrow piece of the story that we didn't. We had a lot more information than they did. And people think, how could that jury do that? Well, based on the information they were given and based on the instructions they received, they didn't go back there and say, was he guilty or innocent? They went back and they have 2 pages of instructions, and it says, do you find beyond a reasonable doubt that it was proven whether or not he was here on certain time? And if the answer to that is yes, go to question 2. If it's no, jump to page 9. And then you go to page 9 and it asks, you have to meet the elements of the crime. And if you don't meet all the elements of the crime, then you have to let them walk. I mean, it's a very complex situation. It's not just yes or no. And I think the collective IQ of the jury is 1,200. I mean, you got 12 people there with average IQ, it all adds up to a pretty smart collective IQ. They tend to get it right, it's just my opinion, so I don't know. But some of y'all think he deserves a new trial, right? Yeah, and I mean, his life's on the line, so